Hello, my dearest little ones. Hello there. Welcome back to our cozy little story corner. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Have you found a nice, comfy spot? Maybe you can snuggle up with your favorite blanket. Story Mama's here again, and guess what? I've brought a very special story just for you. Tonight, we're going to listen to a story that's going to make your heart feel as warm and happy as a yummy cup of hot chocolate. Are you ready? Before our story starts, Story Mom has a little question for you. Do you know what special night it is tonight in our story? That's right, it's Christmas Eve. And what exactly is Christmas Eve? Well, it's the night right before Christmas Day, when the whole world feels so quiet and still, like it's holding its breath, waiting for something wonderful to happen. It's a truly magical night, filled with twinkling lights and the smell of yummy cookies baking in the oven, and just a feeling of love and sharing everywhere. A long, long, long time ago, on this very night, a super-duper bright star appeared in the sky, and it was shining like a big diamond on a dark velvet blanket. And they say that lots and lots of angels sang so softly up in the heavens, and their voices sounded like tiny silver bells, wishing for everyone in the whole world to be safe and happy and peaceful. That's why we call this night Peaceful Night. All right then, are you feeling cozy and ready to go on an adventure? Let's close our eyes for just a moment. Can you imagine it with me? We are stepping together very quietly into a beautiful, peaceful forest, and everything is covered in a soft blanket of fresh white snow. Now, let's listen very closely to the story of our main character today, a very kind little bear named Boo Boo. In this magical forest, where the big tall trees wore pointy hats of snow and the air was crisp and cold, there lived a very cute little bear. His name was Boo Boo. Now, Boo Boo had something that was very, very precious to him. It was a red scarf. Oh, it was the color of a juicy red cherry, and it was his greatest treasure. Do you know why? Because his grandma had knitted it for him with her own loving hands, using the softest wool you can possibly imagine. Every single little stitch was filled with her hugs and her warm smiles, so whenever Boo Boo wore it, it felt like his grandma was right there with him, giving him a big warm hug. Boo Boo was all warm and cozy in his little house, which was built right inside a big tree stump. He peeked out of his little round window, and his warm breath made a small, foggy cloud on the cold glass. He looked out at the snowy forest, and his heart felt just a little bit sad. He saw the empty branches on the trees and the quiet, snowy paths. All of his good friends seemed to be hiding away in their homes because it was just so cold outside. Boo Boo sighed a little bear sigh, and he thought to himself, this just doesn't feel right. Christmas Eve is supposed to be warm and cozy for everyone. It's a time for sharing and for being together. And right then and there, a wonderful idea popped right into his fuzzy little head, shining as brightly as the biggest Christmas star. He puffed out his little furry chest and made a very brave decision. He announced to himself, I will be a Starlight Courier, and my special secret mission will be to travel through this snowy night and deliver warmth and happiness to every single one of my friends in the forest. Wow, look at that. Boo Boo has his Starlight Courier route all planned out. He has a very busy night ahead of him. He has 5 whole stops to make. First, he's going to visit wise old Grandpa Owl, then tiny little brother Rabbit. After that, he'll see energetic Li the Squirrel, and then the whole fox family in their cozy den. And his very last stop will be for the gentle little deer, Key. Oh, this is so exciting! Let's put on our imaginary snow boots and our warmest coats and hurry to follow him on his big adventure. Okay, here we go. First stop, Boo Boo, filled with excitement, pulled his little wooden sleigh behind him. The only sound in the quiet, snowy forest was the soft crunch, crunch, crunch of his paws on the fresh snow. He looked up at a big, tall oak tree and saw a warm, friendly light glowing from a little window high above. He had arrived. This was Grandpa Owl's treehouse. Boo Boo very carefully carried his first gift up the winding stairs of the big treehouse. It was a steaming cup of sweet honey cocoa, and it smelled of delicious chocolate and happiness. Grandpa Owl, with his big, round glasses perched on his beak, took the warm mug in his feathery wings. He took a big sip. Ah! His big eyes crinkled up with a happy smile. In his deep, gentle voice, he hooted softly, "Oh, Boo-Boo, my dear boy, my tummy and my heart are all warmed up now. Thank you so, so much for bringing me this wonderful warmth." Seeing his old friend so happy made Boo-Boo's own heart feel like it was glowing. The first delivery was a success. Now, on to the second stop. Boo-Boo followed a trail of tiny little footprints in the snow that led to a small burrow under a bush. And peeking out was little brother Rabbit. But oh dear me, the poor little thing was shivering from the cold. And when Boo-Boo looked closer, he saw the rabbit's tiny little paws. They were red and sore from the biting cold. He was trying to tuck them under his arms, but he just couldn't get warm. Boo-Boo's heart ached to see his friend looking so sad and so very cold. Well, Boo-Boo didn't even have to think about it for a second. He looked down at his own warm, cherry-red scarf, the one his grandma had made, his most precious treasure in the whole world, and he carefully unwound it from his own neck, and ever so gently, he wrapped it around the little rabbit's neck, tucking it in so it was perfectly snug and warm. Little brother Rabbit's long ears, which had been drooping, suddenly perked right up. He touched the soft, fluffy wool with his little paws, and his eyes got big and wide with surprise. In a tiny, happy voice, he chirped, "Wow! It's so warm, and it smells like sunshine and cookies. It smells like a Crima's hug." He pressed his little cheek softly against the scarf, and he wiggled his nose with happiness. For the very first time all day, he felt completely warm, as if he were wrapped in a big, loving hug. Third stop, Boo-Boo scurried over to a very tall pine tree, and high up on a branch, he saw Li the Squirrel. Now, she was usually so full of energy, always leaping from branch to branch like a little acrobat. But today, she was just sitting there, curled in a little ball, looking very sad. As Boo-Boo got closer, he could hear a loud rumble, rumble, gooloo, gooloo. Oh my, it was Lily's tummy. She was so hungry, she didn't even have the energy to look for more nuts. Well, Boo-Boo immediately reached into the little bag on his sleigh. He took out something very special that he had been saving just for an emergency. It was a big gingerbread cookie, and it was shaped just like a star. Oh, it smelled so wonderfully sweet, like ginger and cinnamon and all the best smells of Christmas. It even had a little smiley face drawn on it with white frosting. He carefully held it up for his hungry friend. Next up, it's the fourth stop, the Fox family's den. Boo-Boo found their home tucked away safely under the roots of a big old tree. He peeked inside. Oh my goodness, it was as dark as midnight in there. You couldn't even see your own paw in front of your face. And from the very back of the den, he could hear tiny little whimpering sounds. The little fox cubs were so scared of the dark, they were all huddled together in a little ball of fur, trembling with fear. So Boo-Boo reached into his sleigh one more time and took out a sparkling, star-shaped lantern. It held a tiny, warm candle inside that flickered gently. He hung it right at the entrance to their home, and instantly, a soft, golden light filled the den, chasing all the scary shadows away. Mama Fox came out, and her eyes were shining with gratitude. She was so moved, she gave Boo-Boo a gentle hug and whispered, "Thank you, Boo-Boo. Look, with this beautiful light, our home has become so warm and bright and cozy." And the little foxes weren't afraid anymore. One by one, they peeked their little heads out of the den, their big eyes looking curiously at the beautiful, twinkling lantern. At last, he reached his final stop. In a quiet clearing under the soft light of the big round moon, Boo-Boo saw Chi, the little deer. Chi was walking very slowly, all by himself in the deep snow, and his head was hanging low. Oh, he looked so very lonely, like he was the only one in the whole wide, snowy world. Boo-Boo's heart just went out to him. He didn't have any food or lanterns left in his sleigh, but he knew just what to give. He immediately rushed over and gave Chi a super big, super warm, super long bear hug. And he also took a little something from his pocket, a pair of little silver bells on a red ribbon, which he gently tied to Chi's antlers. Now, with every step Chi took, they made a sweet, cheerful, jingle-jangle, ding-dong sound, like a happy little song in the quiet forest. Boo-Boo had delivered all his gifts. His Starlight Courier mission was a success. He had made all his friends warm and happy. He smiled to himself and turned to start the long walk home. But as he walked, a cold wind blew through the trees. Boo-Boo shivered. And then he realized, oh no, his warm red scarf was keeping the little rabbit cozy. His yummy gingerbread cookie was in Lily's tummy. His paws and his feet felt as cold as little icicles, and his own tummy started to rumble. Gulu gulu. For the very first time all night, Boo Boo felt cold and hungry and just a little bit alone. He trudged sadly through the snow, but just then, through the quiet of the forest, he heard a sound. A soft sound at first, and then a little louder. It sounded like voices. Yes, someone was calling his name. Boo Boo! Boo Boo! He stopped, and he turned around to look, and what he saw made his eyes go big and round with wonder. Wow! An even more magical and wonderful thing was happening. There, right in the middle of the clearing, the tallest pine tree was glowing, decorated with dozens and dozens of sparkling fireflies, and gathered all around it were all of his friends. Wise Grandpa Owl was there, holding the warm lantern to light the way for everyone. Little Brother Rabbit was there, proudly wearing the cozy red scarf around his neck. And Lily the Squirrel came forward, very carefully carrying a bowl of steaming hot nut soup just for him. The Fox family had laid out a soft, fluffy blanket made of moss for him to sit on, and Key the little deer was gently shaking his head, making a happy jingle-jangle tune with his new silver bells. All of his friends gathered around him in a circle, and their faces were shining with happy smiles. And then, all together they shouted in one big, joyful voice, "Boo Boo, you warmed us all! Now it's our turn to warm you!" And as all his friends gave him one big, giant group hug, Boo Boo closed his eyes and suddenly realized something amazing. His paws weren't cold anymore. His tummy didn't feel hungry anymore. Surrounded by his friends, with all their love wrapped around him like the coziest blanket, his heart felt warmer than it had all day. It was the warmest, best feeling in the whole wide world. You see, Boo Boo learned a very wonderful secret that night. He learned that kindness is just like a little candle. When you give warmth to other people, when you share your light with them, it doesn't make your own light go out, no. Instead, all of that warmth comes right back to you, and it becomes an even bigger and brighter and more beautiful light that warms everyone around you. And now, my dearest darling, our story is all finished. Just like Boo Boo, it's your turn to get ready to snuggle down under your little blanket and go to sleep. So come on now, please close your eyes very gently and pull your blanket up tight to your chin. On this quiet, peaceful night, I want you to always remember that Mommy and Daddy's love will always be just like Boo Boo's warm red scarf, wrapping you up and holding you tightly, always and forever. I wish you the sweetest, warmest dreams. Good night, my most precious little darling.